Hello, and welcome to another Design Think tutorial, this time talking about Discord. Discord is a communication tool similar to Microsoft Teams or Slack, but while you need to create an account for those two services, Discord can run in your browser, and all you need to do is hit the button on discord.com, and you can begin using it right away. Simply input your desired username, agree to the terms and services, and hit go. And that's it, the account's been created. Enter your date of birth for age verification. And you'll be prompted to create your first server. Servers in Discord act as hubs. Whether you join or create your own, each will be comprised of channels and categories where you can share in either text or voice. Now, Discord offers a variety of templates that you can use to start your server, or you can just create your own. Each of these templates come with a variety of channels and permissions already set up, allowing you to quickly create a server with some of the specifications that you might need. For this tutorial, we're going to create our own. We'll just select, for me, my friends, get you to choose your server name and your picture that the server will be identified. Both of these can be changed later, and by default they give you a name that's based off your account. We're going to skip that for now, hit create, and then Discord will give us the option to create some topics that will exist inside our channel, but we're going to not worry about that, and then go straight to the creation of our server. Now, Discord is going to remind you periodically to claim your account. As we saw, we only created this by entering a name that we wish to go by, but we don't have any way to log back into Discord once we close this session. Email password's all we need, but we can also skip this for now. And welcome to Discord. As I said at the top of the tutorial, if you're familiar with tools like Slack or Microsoft Teams, this layout should look fairly familiar to you. I'll be going over a few of the major sections. So starting on the left is your server list. The different groups you're part of, as well as your home page to take you back to any private conversations that you were having. Going next to that, we have your server information, as well as the list of channels, both text and voice, that exist within the server. For first-time users, Discord has a built-in tutorial, which you can find through all the exclamation points floating around. Following them will give you a pretty good introduction to the different features that Discord has available, as well as what each of the different areas of the UI does. Ultimately, Discord can be split into three main areas: your channels, the chat, as well as your member list. The left column contains the server information, as well as the list of channels, grouped into different categories. In the center, you have your text chat, and on the right-hand side, you have your member list. Here you'll find the names and status of everybody that's part of this server, as well as a few handy tools such as the help, an inbox showing you if you've been tagged, and a search feature allowing you to go through the messages in the server, your member list full, and the ability to change your notification settings for this channel. Next, I want to talk about your server settings, which can be found by clicking on the little arrow next to the server name. Here you'll find important tools that you have as the creator of the server, such as the ability to invite people. Just send this link to whoever you wish to join the server, and they'll be prompted to create an account just like you were when you signed up with Discord. And they'll have the ability to participate in the server right away. You have a few settings at your disposal when you create these invitations. The first being how long the link will last before it expires, and the second is the number of uses that it has. Now, the most important setting available to us is the ability to make members who use the link to join the server temporary members, as in after they log out of that session, they'll be kicked from the server and won't be allowed back in without another invitation. An important feature for setting up something like a focus group, where you want to have those members join just for the session and then be kicked out right afterwards. Other settings we'll find are the ability to create categories for our voice and text chats, our notification settings for the server along with our privacy, and the ability to change our nickname. The nickname is what name will appear in this channel specifically, separate from our account name. Now let's talk about voice and text channels, the next step of Discord's tutorial. By clicking on the plus icon, we have the ability to create either a new voice or a new text channel. These channels are generic. They can be whatever we want them to be about, and when we create a new channel, we have the ability to title it, as well as change its channel-specific permissions, which we'll talk about in a bit. On a related note, we have the ability to create new servers by clicking on the plus icon, and follow the same procedures that we did to create this one. Simply click on the plus icon. You'll have the ability to choose between a text or a voice channel, choose the name, and then decide if this is going to be a private channel. Private channels can only be viewed by those that are given explicit permission to see it. And like that, our channel has been created. We're brought immediately into the channel, and we can then use it as we see fit. Creating a voice channel works the same way. Plus for a new channel, select voice, choose the name, and hit create. Our new channel will be created underneath the category we selected. Using a voice channel is just as easy as using a text channel. Click on the title and you'll be thrown within the voice call, with then Discord asking permission to use your microphone. Just like that. Only those who are part of the voice channel can actually hear what you're saying, and you have a variety of controls down near the bottom. To disconnect, simply click on the disconnect button, and inside a voice channel you have the ability to share not only your webcam video, but also your screen. The ability to mute and deafen yourself can be found below that, and then your personal user settings found next to that. They usually ask for feedback once you exit a voice call. We also have the ability to move and reorganize our channels by click and dragging into the different categories we have created. More options can be found by right-clicking, with the menus being context-sensitive. This could also be a shortcut to create a new channel, but also to create a category, or a sort of folder for different channels. Simply right-click, create category, enter the name, and boom, we have a new category available to us. Categories keep our channels organized and can help us manage permissions on who has the ability to see and comment within the various groups. How do we go about hiding these permissions? Well, that's where groups and tags come into play. By right-clicking on a member in the member list, you have the ability to get some more information, either by viewing their profile, which will allow you to see their actual account name, not just their nickname, a quick button to mention them within a chat, the ability to mute or deafen them on the server, and the ability to change their nickname, if you have their permission. A user's nickname is specific to this server, and when saved, will be displayed on the right-hand side in the member list, as well as on each of their messages that they send going forward. Another powerful tool we have at our disposal is the ability to assign somebody to a role. These roles can be found within the server settings. In the server settings, we'll also find things such as the ability to change the server image and the server name, along with a few other basic settings. Now, an important tab to look at, especially as a server administrator, is the Roles tab. From here, you'll be able to create a variety of tags that you could use to organize your members, as well as manage their permissions, what channels they can see, where they can post, or what voice channels they can join. Roles are one of Discord's most important features, especially if we want to use it for any sort of professional capacity. When creating a new role, we'll give it a name, and choose a color that we want to see it as. Discord will offer us a variety of basic permissions that we want to assign that role. A role can simply be cosmetic, a simple way to identify a user, or can be more involved, getting greater permissions as we can move up this chain. Ability to modify their own nickname, the ability to modify other members, or the ability to modify the server itself. Each of the categories we see here are simply templates, a base set of permissions that we're giving that we can change at any time. We'll stick with just cosmetic changes for now. After you create a new role, you have the ability to add members right away, and boom, our role's been created. Going back into the server, you can see that my name has changed color, and the role appears underneath my profile. Going back into the server settings, we can actually see under the Roles tab that the role exists and how many members are currently part of it. We can edit the role's permissions, as well as see the server as that role, but we'll take a look at that later. Let's edit for now. In the edit window, we have a few tabs, from display, changing the name and color that we saw before, as well as the ability to separate this role from others in the member list on the main server page, as well as the ability to change who can tag us in conversation. Be sure to save changes whenever you make one. Underneath the Permissions tab, we have the controls that we are really interested as the moderator for a server. We have the ability to adjust what channels a role can view, what abilities they have within a channel or within the server itself, the ability to create invitations, manage members, send messages, or just generally interact with the server itself. Each of the settings you see can be adjusted per role, but also per channel, and we'll take a look at that in a bit. We can also manage members from here, removing or adding people as we see fit. As a moderator, the basic permissions you'll want them to have are the ability to view channels, manage channels, as well as manage other roles. We'll save our changes, head back to the server, and we can see that the instructor role is now separated from just general online members. Similar permission settings can be found on each channel by right-clicking and either selecting Edit Channel or selecting the little gear icon next to the name. From here, you can change the channel's name and add a description, and adjust how frequently members can send messages. To organize our server, we want to manage who can see and post in which channels. By default, a channel will do two things. Follow the permissions set by the category it's in. We want to set this as a private channel, so we can control what roles can see and post inside this channel. From the get-go, we can choose what roles we want to have included, and then from that point onwards, only roles that are given permission can view that channel. Save our changes, and if we go back to the main server, we can see the description has changed, letting us know this is a private channel. The icons also changed next to the server name in the list. We can also see what roles have permission to view this channel listed at the top. Now, being that I'm the server owner, I'm going to see this channel by default. But we have the ability to see what channels are available from what role by selecting the role and selecting View Server as the role. And we can see from here that our text channel is no longer visible. A new member joining the server without a role won't be able to see design thinking like I do. Now let me create an example of what you could do with Discord. So I've now set up this server with a variety of roles and channels specific to those roles, and set it up in a format that could be used for focus testing. We have focus group 1 and 2, and if I take a look at the roles, you'll see that I have set up an instructor, think more like the server owner, a group lead, as well as two different tags for focus group 1 and focus group 2. When we look at the instructor role, in the permissions we can see they have the ability to view channels, and manage roles. When compared with the group lead, we can see that they have the ability to view channels, but their permissions focus on creating invitations, managing nicknames, anything to do with membership, as opposed to the server itself. Each of the focus groups, however, don't have any permissions at all. We just need this role to exist in order to help separate the people who join our server. If we go back to the roles page and select View Server as Role, we can see that for Focus Group 1, we only have access to the category Focus Group 1, as well as the voice channel that we can join. If we change what role we view the server as to Focus Group 2, we can see that the Focus Group 2 category has shown up, along with its own voice and text channel. Let me show you how I set that up. So, much like we set up permissions for a role, we can set permissions for a category. Right-click, Edit Category Permissions, and you can see that I've selected the instructor, group lead, and focus group 1 to be able to view focus group 1 category. And then in category 2, I have the instructor, group lead, and focus group 2 able to do the same thing. And now our server's been set up. The next thing to do is invite people. So either through the server settings or by selecting on the Create Invite icon next to different groups, we'll get a link that we can send to people as we've seen. Just change the settings so that they're a temporary member, meaning that when they exit the session, they'll be kicked out of the server, and just send the link to whoever you wish to have participate. So we've covered a lot of the base functionality of Discord, but I'm going to give you a leg up. I can create from this server a server template that you can use when you create your server, so you can automatically generate the channels and roles that I have set up here. I'll be sure to link this with the video description. And with that, you should have everything you need to use Discord. Good luck with your focus groups.